It's been minutes and I'll get right in. Yo, yo, yo. It's the junkie, fiduciary, the all advisor. I'm here this morning with a Friday flex. Wanted to inform I am still Friday night specials tonight at 8 p.m. But I don't rest. Will likely be about some things, especially after January 1st. Should have all of your nines and who's on board again. See something here. All right, a little better. I'd love to contact me at my website, hwealth, or you can email hall at dot. See if I. Here we go. Hey, that's how you contact me to talk insurance. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted. I'm probably gonna about some tax. Hold on. Let me leave out and come and see what's here. Uh, More. So, and I'll be right. See, um, messing with stuff. Let's see. Hopefully that works. I'm doing it from my phone. This was an impromptu. Um, so I'm not on my computer right now. This actually isn't gonna be long. Like I said, I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm gonna be going live tonight for Friday Night Financials. I don't have a guest for tonight, so we'll be talking about some tax stuff. As you hear my cat in the back. Get down. Oh, see, no. Don't no, bro. Don't be being cute because I'm not watching you right now. My cat done nearly hopped on my table. I don't play that. Um, but so I'll be talking about some things that have to do with tax season, plausibly some tax strategies as well. It probably won't be an extremely long show, only because of the fact that there won't be a guest to interview. I may, however, bring up some of the agents that I've recently hired on with my firm. So feel welcome to, drop you guys ideas. I will consider them. I don't have a problem doing so. But another thing I wanted to mention, and what's going on, Ed and Shane, that is concerning is we have all these new seven Camuses who are guys who are coming out here um, finally dressing the part. I actually saw a young lady do a reaction to a gentleman. Um, and listen, I'm down for speaking about the mating, dating, relationship stuff. But as Mrs. Queen said in a prior panel, a lot of these guys are not what they're claiming to be. So the reality is this, and I'm going to kind of leave it at that because I have bigger fish to fry. Um, Men, if y'all are going to be this quote unquote red pill alpha male push forward, what I don't want to see, what I will refuse to accept is if number one, you have an avatar and it's not your actual face or likeness. Number two, if you're not living that LinkedIn level lifestyle that your godfather said. So if your name is something other than what your given name was when you were born, that's on your birth certificate, that's on checks when you receive them, no longer will you be taking anything, right? You can call this the execution squad if you want. You could call this the Scorpion Squad if you want, right? I was on the panel yesterday with Mr. Amiri Browner, and BGS came up. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for him, I got some business calls that I ended up having to handle from some colleagues of mine who are 3 hours behind because they're in California. So when it's 10 p.m. here, it's 7 p.m. there, right? So the reason that I'm frustrated with this is because I came to this space of the Black manosphere thinking it was progressive Black men. No, he didn't run off. I ended up coming off of the panel. Uh, and it doesn't matter that you're just a janitor. Realize this: the quote unquote Godfather was not talking to women; he was talking to men. And the reason that he was talking to men because he was talking to men of a certain echelon, and not all of us are going to cut it. You see, I called into his show in real life with my real name because that's what I do across all platforms is my real name because I do real stuff in real life. And you see how, Ed, you said you're just the janitor? Don't diminish that. Because let me explain something to you. Fortune 500 company CEOs, people who are part of the financial firm that I work at, guess what we need? We need that janitor. Because without you, the janitor, guess what happens? Our desks and everything get dirty, right? I wouldn't be able to have a clean workstation without someone like you. I wouldn't be able to have a clean lunch area without someone like you. I wouldn't be able to have a clean bathroom without someone like you. So I thank you for the work that you do, brother. Oh, okay. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, they're government contracts for janitors, bro. Don't undervalue yourself. So, and salute to K Business Podcast. If you haven't followed him, make sure you go follow him. He had some great content yesterday with Terry the Electrician. And like I said, I'm gonna be having Friday night financials tonight. Sheed, what's going on, brother? I didn't quite get a guest. However, not every Friday night financials will be interviewing with guests. Oftentimes, it will be financial strategies. Um, I was going to put it behind a paywall, but there are other financial services professionals who are way outperforming me. For example, there's a gentleman by the name of David Kinder, who you guys have heard me mention very many times. And just off of it, he's also an RIA, registered investment advisor. However, he makes $750,000 a year just by selling life insurance. And this gentleman gives out information among information upon information for free 99 on YouTube and Facebook. Right? So we are about to cross all those lines. Right? Because again, Kevin Samuels, when he was speaking to men, he was speaking to men at a certain level. He wanted you to live the LinkedIn level lifestyle. Right? And yes, straight free 99, Queen. So she got 199 in the back. Like, listen, that's your fee. Charge 199. Everybody got to pay $200. But that LinkedIn level lifestyle means that we can tell what you do for work. It ain't, oh, I'm in business. I'm an entrepreneur. No, what can we verify that you do? I don't want to see nothing fell off the back of the truck. Nothing like that. What I want to do is I want to be able, because We're knocking stuff out. See, myself, Dr. Dunbar, Sheed, and Southshire, we're coming up with the four horsemen, which is going to be four men who are of substance. And we're going to be going on each other's channels periodically, doing a multitude of different things. So I'm going to hop off of the men now because it's a pointless effort speaking on a lot of these waste of space guys who are just avatars. They can't even have their own likeness. Let's talk about some real good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of topics would you like to see on Friday Night Financials? Obviously, tonight, I'm going to be talking a little bit about taxes and investments. Now, when I say investments, I don't mean putting your money into the quote unquote stock market or this quote unquote day trading that people are all doing, right? Because this day trading, it takes a very specific person to do so. I have a person who's Facebook friends with me who's always talking about his day trading academy and how he gets all these gains. I never see the losses, only the gains. But then I clicked on the information and it's like a $750 class for a one-time class. And that's where he's making his money, not off of the day trading. How do I happen to know this? Because I have a friend who sold derivatives for 11 years with Citibank. So this is to Black America. When someone tells you that they're a financial professional, please don't ask them how many clients they have. That just leads us to believe that you probably shouldn't be their client. Why? Because, hold on, my cat is like bugging out. What's going on, cat? What are you meowing for? If you don't get down, stop jumping on stuff, right? But the reason you don't want to ask how many clients a person has is because that has little bearing to the reality of a financial professional. They can have one clients, they can have 1 million clients. That person with 1 million clients can be doing a whole lot worse than that person with one client. I'll give you an example. My neighbor who sold derivatives, which is futures, commodities. Well, he sold futures and commodities, but it's the same license that you need to sell Forex. I think I'll talk about that tonight. But he had a client list of two clients, basically his whole career, the whole 11 years. And those two clients, well, those two clients were worth more money than people's entire family combined times 10. Why? Well, one of those clients was named Victoria's Secret. The other client of his was named Walmart. So immediately when I speak to specifically young Black people, and I'm like, hey, I'm a financial professional. Another thing that is very upsetting is hearing, yo, I'll come see you when I get my money right. Well, that's the purpose of coming to see a financial advisor, is to get your money right. You see, what that saying would be like is if you were 600 pounds and you were bedridden and you couldn't get off your bed in 5 years. And then somebody who's a physical trainer comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to teach you how to work out your arms so you can lose 200 pounds in your arms so that we can then work your waist so you can lose some weight and get out of the bed. And you say to them, no, personal trainer, I'll come see you when I'm physically fit. Well, that wouldn't make sense because you'd never get physically fit to go see that personal trainer. So make sure that when you're going to see that financial professional, they're there to help you along the way. Now, it does get disturbing. I understand. Because for the most part, unless you come with a certain amount of money, many financial professionals, registered investment advisors, and financial advisors will push you away unless they're with like an MLM quote unquote Ponzi scheme like FFL Family First, WFG World Financial Group, PHP People Helping People, or the big Ponzi scheme PRI, Primerica. Those four particular companies prey on minorities. And the reason that they get away with it is because in the insurance business, 90% of the people who get into it fail anyway. But when they're telling you, you can build a business and build a team under you, and they haven't taught you the first thing about case design, right? Now, most general public doesn't even understand half of the concepts I'm talking about, especially when it comes to my community. I'm not disdaining any other community, but I don't care about those communities right now. I care about my community, just like those communities don't care about our community. They care about their community. So if anyone has anything to say about me being very specific and unapologetic about my community, go jump off a bridge, respectfully. And no, I'm not including anyone outside of Black folks. This includes Latinos. Yes, there's some inclusion there, but Latinos, you have your own culture, your own community. So yes, we can join together, but guess what? Just like when they had the Black Panthers, we don't speak about the fact that they actually had the White Panther Party. I'm studied in this stuff. Anything I do, I obsess in it. That's why I call myself the All-Star Advisor. Because I'm the Kobe Bryant of this, right? If you look at basketball, there was Smush Parker, Lamar Odom, and Kobe Bryant. All came from high school into the league. I know people who hoop be like, Smush could hoop back in the streets. Yeah, well, he couldn't hoop when it came to the league, playing against the other elite talent. Right now, I stand in a position as the only fly in the buttermilk in something called the Breakaway League, which is a group of elite financial professionals. These guys make millions of dollars just off of life insurance because they understand a multitude of concepts. I just did a video talking about Lisa Marie Presley. Meanwhile, we have registered investment advisors who are like, get people away from permanent life insurance. It works for wealthy people, but it doesn't work for the regular individual. Just sell them term. You know why? Because they don't want to risk you not qualifying for the life insurance and you as the insured getting the biggest benefit. So it's been a marketing ploy to push you into term insurance. Why would you buy term insurance when it has a 99% chance that your family won't get the benefit that you purchased? That's like saying, I'm going to McDonald's and I'm going to pay for some ice cream up front before I even get there, knowing that there's a 99% chance that the ice cream machine is broken. And that's not just in the hood. That's actually something done intentionally by McDonald's. They have one company that works on their ice cream machines. Their ice cream machines are very complex and you have to have certain skills to do so. There's one company that services all the McDonald's in the country's ice cream machines. Yet there's like 300 or 400 guys who are actually able to be the technicians to fix the ice cream machines. So next time you go to McDonald's and see their ice cream machine is working, take advantage of it because it ain't going to be working for long. But ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm just kind of ranting. But like Sheed says all the time, man, we got to get this money right, right? If we want the political revolution, shout out to Raw B Privilege. She's big on politics. But realistically, you can't get political power until you have economic power. Don't believe me, just watch. Remember 2019 when everybody was upset with Goya, quote unquote, upset with Goya for sitting with Donald Trump? Well, what did they get? They got actual bills written. They got the Hispanic Prosperity Initiative. It didn't say Hispanic and black. So again, don't get me confused when I say this is blacks excluding Latinos. I love y'all, but the Hispanic Prosperity Initiative didn't say Hispanic and Moreno, Hispanic and Negro. It said Hispanic Prosperity Initiative. But what they did was they had dollars, they had economic power, and they said, Donald Trump, we will consider giving you our votes after you sign this bill. So, what did Donald Trump do? He signed that bill. Now, again, the difficulty with Ice Cube, aka O'Shea Jackson, getting the quote unquote platinum plan, because he sat with Donald Trump about the platinum plan, which was going to give blacks access to $500 billion. It was going to address gentrification in the hood, which ain't nothing wrong with gentrification. I am part of gentrification because gentrification has more to do with money than with white people. Says we still have a faction of us that tell us not to vote. That's fine. But the faction of us that tell us not to vote are telling us not to vote in the puppet election, which is the presidential election. We should be voting on our local level. But I'm just talking about something that is common to us all, that we can all relate to, which is the presidential election. So I'm going to gentrify me a hood. I ain't mad at you. But let's look at the fact that when we wanted to get with Joe Biden, he said, wait till after the election. Black folk, we can't be so emotional with our vote. And we can't just keep falling off the cliff like lemmings. What has either party particularly done for us? To be honest, we should really vote in our own self interest. I'll give you guys an example. Back when Barack Obama was running against Mitt Romney, I no longer wanted Barack Obama to be the president because Mitt Romney was coming up with laws and rules and regulations that would have been very beneficial for me specifically. And as a man, I had to look out for me and my family that I chose. We'll talk about that too in a second. But he was going to privatize Social Security, which at the time, the Democrats were like, no, that's a bad thing. We don't want that. Guess what President Joe Biden is talking about doing? Privatizing Social Security. So let's just look at the fact that now suddenly it's a decent and good thing. See, even though these quote unquote red pill Republican men here, see, I knew of Rollo Tomasi from Wall Street because I actually worked on Wall Street. My offices were 100 Broadway. You come out of my office, take a left, the New York Stock Exchange is right there. 39 Broadway and 11 Broadway, where you come out the building, walk across the street, and boom, you can grab the brass bull by the balls. Miss Queen, it's not that bad of an idea, seeing as you and I are not going to get Social Security. Right now, FRA, full retirement age, is 67. So people need to work until they're age 67 to receive their full retirement benefits. By the year 2025, FRA and RMDs will be age 75. RMDs meaning required minimum distribution. So right now it's age 72, meaning if you have a retirement account and you don't take it out, you're going to be taxed at 50%. Capitalism doesn't ruin anything. Capitalism is not the issue, it's greed. Shango, what's up, brother? I don't know why your comments for some odd reason are like blocked on my videos when I try to reply. I try to heart and reply and like every single comment of every person that comes on every video of mine. And for some odd reason, every time I try to click on it, it says there's an issue. So I'm not positive as to why. Let me see if I can do something here. Can I do this on here? No, I can't. I can't mod you guys up from StreamYard, and I'm on my phone. But see, we got to unlearn the BS that they taught us in the academy. What happens is when you get into a certain crowd, you start to understand things. Um, no, it's not exactly a fundamental aspect of capitalism. Greed is a completely separate thing from capitalism. Capitalism is, yes, the idea of going into things with the purpose of making money. And yes, you're looking to turn a profit. Greed, however, is stuff like these dudes on the internet who get mad because you cash app them motherfuckers $1, yet they're supposed to be millionaires. Coach Greg Adams. See, I speak names, right? I super chatted. I cash apped him $1. Why? Because he was like, "I'm going to be greedy. Hey, yeah, I just learned some stuff about some barbershops in Connecticut. They throw me a cash app if you want the game." Well, you learning some stuff about a barbershop really don't do shit for us. You see, the shit I be teaching do shit for people. But you telling us how you spoke to some millionaires about how they gonna help you open a barber school in Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, that don't make none of us nothing. So don't be upset when, and I have a general rule. You see, I understand the wealthy. See, he don't understand the wealthy. He's new money. I'm new money too, but I have family who has old money. And they happen to be relatives of my adopted brother, which is another reason I got into the financial services industry. See, this shit goes deep, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. When I first got into the financial services industry, my uncle, my brother's uncle, who's a Caucasian man, who they have streams of money, the Cole family. Because, see, we about to talk about family wealth, too. I'll get into that in 1 second. But the Cole family, they go, "Hey, listen." I said, "Hey, bro, ask your uncle for some pointers because, I just got into this financial services game and, man, I'm struggling. It's a rough road." You know what he did? We spoke. He said, "Hey, Lonzo, good job getting into the financial services industry." He said, "I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a white guy who comes from a family of money and I know people and I had to struggle. Says you're a black kid from the hood who doesn't have any money and doesn't know anybody. Good luck." Click. So see, while all these internet folks like to internet their internetdom, I do things in real life. I would bring a client of mine who she knows who that is. We just did something really big over the last few days. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to go back to us learning about the financial families, right? Let's look at, first of all, something that is thrown around in the black community all too often. and that is generational wealth. Um, Generational wealth, you have to first know what a generation is. So if you go to Google, they'll tell you a generation is between 20 and 30 years. So let's go on the low end and say generation is 20 years. So it's going to run you more than a generation to pay off a mortgage. See, the textbook definition of mortgage is payment till death. Me, Sheed, and Dr. Dunbar had this conversation. The average homebuyer age in America is 52. The average home purchaser resells or refinances their home in the first 7 to 10 years, meaning you're restarting a 30-year commitment. Most people who purchase a house have never looked at an amortization schedule. And then we got the passport bros talking about they're going to take $40,000 and go live overseas. But they don't know you have to purchase property overseas. And if you have US dollars and you live overseas, you got to pay US taxes. And there's no mortgage overseas. But anyway, let's take a look at that generational wealth. So you go to Google, look at about how long a generation is. A generation is between 20 and 30 years. So real estate is a great way. Again, real estate is a great way, but it's far from the best way to leave generational wealth. Right? Again, look at my video on Lisa Marie Presley. This woman had $35 million death benefit in life insurance. She was going to cash out a $25 million life insurance policy to pay off $4 million in debt. Okay? But again, one generation is, let's say, 20 years on the low end. So then it gets bothersome when I talk to my people and I say, hey, you're a quote unquote business and Four Corners Custom Products. I'm not picking on you, but this is from a financial professional's um, standpoint. So your accountant who helped you file the business articles of incorporation for an LLC. You see, what a lot of these accountants do, just like Primerica does, is they prey on the lack of knowledge of our people. So let me ask you something, Four Corners. You probably don't, just like my principal of my company loves to throw the LLC. And I'm like, bro, you don't need the LLC in your business name. Thank you, Queen. Miss Queen. You don't need your business name having the LLC in it. Why? Because all that is your tax filing status. If we were to go work at Walmart, I wouldn't say Alonzo Hall W-2 because that's my tax filing status. The only reason you would need that LLC to be seen is if you were an LLP, limited liability practice, which would be either an attorney or a doctor or a financial professional, right? It'd be something where you have credentials to do so. But see, we're going to get this work, we're going to get this education today. And again, I'm not picking on you because my own principal does it with CG Wealth Solutions Group, LLC. We don't need to be called LLC. Don't nobody need to know your tax filing status. And that's all it is. You see, unfortunately, us as Black Americans we think we're adding legitimacy. Oh, I'm a business. See, I am an LLC. Let me tell you why your accountant duped the shit out of you. Why LegalZoom duped the shit out of you. Why the bank duped the shit out of you. Not you specifically, Four Corners, but there's a whole bunch of people out there with LLCs. Number one, if you don't have assets above generally $60,000 to $70,000, then you don't need an LLC because you're not protecting your personal assets. If you don't currently own a home and other assets, then the purpose of an LLC becomes pointless, right? It sounds nice, but it's pointless. And don't take my word for it. Take the federal government's word for it. Go to www.irs.gov. You'll find out that an LLC is generally a disregarded entity. And unless you have assets of a certain amount, it's pointless. On what website? Because that's inaccurate, Ms. Queen. The federal government don't say that. Go to irs.gov. So again, there's inaccurate information being given to us, right? I only speak the truth. And I speak the way I speak because just like the Jewish guy who put out the video explaining why Hitler caused the Holocaust, which was because Jews were charging too much interest. He said, listen, I'm not your average guy who works at, Morgan Stanley and makes 100,000. I worked on Wall Street. I made $100 million deals in a day, my damn self. So I speak from a perspective that's different from your average bear. So I'm going to use the same cockiness that Jewish man used. I was talking to a possible new team member of mine, and I was educating him on some of the stuff I did. Yeah, the state cites that when you pay for your LLC. Again, you don't need an LLC, Miss Queen. Don't worry about the state. Worry about the federal government who tells you that an LLC is a disregarded entity. Please go to www.irs.gov. After you pay for it, you can put it on your website, but again, it's not necessary. What state are you in, by the way? Because yeah, different states do have different rules, but again, they're gonna let you do that because you're paying the state fees. Just like a real estate agent doesn't need to go make a business name to open a business bank account. You know how I know? Because I opened a business bank account with my own name. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see the Chase Bank business card says Alonzo Hall. Alonzo Hall's Holdings, doing business as Alonzo Hall. Well, last time I checked, that's my name. I didn't have to go pay the state $125 to check. Now, this only applies to realtors and insurance and financial professionals, but your license is a business license. So you don't need to go get an EIN and file articles of incorporation. But as an LLC, also, you're only limited to working in the 50 states. Also, as a business, you should know that the federal government, who trumps every state, says if your business is not profitable for 3 out of 5 years, you're no longer a business, you're a hobby. Just like a lot of people's accountants will tell you, oh, you were in Texas? Yeah, Texas definitely. And Texas is a little different, but again, once you have the LLC, yeah, you might need to put that on your website, I guess, but it's pretty pointless to do so because, again, it's just your tax filing status. The only time you actually need to put it is if you are an LLP, limited liability practice. But see, most people are unaware of things like that, unless you're an attorney or an accountant. And again, the accountants, man, listen, CPAs, you think CPAs got your best interest at heart, and they don't. How do I know? I'll give you an example. I had a client who we did a 1035 exchange, similar to a 1031 exchange in real estate, which means when you sell an investment property to avoid paying capital gains taxes, you roll it over into the purchase of a property of equal or greater value. However, generally, if you sell an investment property, you're one, going to satisfy the mortgage, and two, have to pay your real estate agent. So if you sold the house for $1 million, you don't earn the entire $1 million. You might only come home with $250,000. So then you have to roll that money into another mortgage. Most people don't want to do that, so you'll do a 1035 exchange. Now, if you go to Google or Investopedia, it'll tell you that a 1035 exchange is only a retirement account or insurance policy to a retirement account or insurance policy. But again, people who does this cause will tell you different. Why? Oh, well, I happened to do it with my client. So we rolled over $500,000 from the sale of his property into a retirement account, an investment grade retirement account. He said, "Are you sure I can do this?" I said, "Go ask your accountant." He asked his accountant. His accountant said, "Yeah, that's a great idea. That'll save you a bunch of money on taxes. You'll pay $0 in taxes." He asked his accountant, "Why didn't you tell me to do this?" His accountant said, "Sir, you pay me to file your taxes. You do not pay me for tax saving strategies. You do not pay me for business strategies." See, we got too much LLC Twitter where they'll tell you things like, go start an LLC and then get $150,000 in business credit. Meanwhile, they won't tell you, oh yeah, you have to pay that business credit back. It's a liability, right? If you go on Shark Tank, they don't ask you how much credit do you have. Well, yeah, they do. They ask you how much debt you have because that goes into the valuation of your company. By the way, I do business valuations because you probably didn't know as a real estate agent, the only thing that there's more than just physical real estate that you can sell. As a licensed realtor, you can actually sell businesses. As a licensed realtor, you can sell land. As a licensed realtor, that's how they sell timeshares. As a licensed realtor, you can do commercial real estate. You can do residential real estate. It's funny. I remember the guy who I got with who I got my real estate license with. And yeah, I'm talking cash shit because I really do big shit. He's busy, busy, busy. I'm like, okay. But at the same time, he was like, oh, I don't think you're going to get your real estate license because you keep talking this insurance stuff. I was like, it's a cross sale, dude. And I probably know more about real estate than you do. And you've been licensed in it for 20 plus years. But see, when I go in, I go in. That's kind of the way this stuff works. I'm trying to keep my language clean. Not for any other purpose than I want to challenge myself to do so. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the content, make sure y'all hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, please share, share, share. To contribute to channel growth, hit my Cash App. I should probably put the Cash App up there if I want y'all to contribute, huh? Well, don't worry about it for right now. I'm ranting. And I really don't care about getting donations and stuff. It'll come. Would I prefer? Come talk to me about creating that legacy. So again, let's get back to generational wealth. So one generation is 20 years. The average American income is $50,000. So if we do $50,000 times 20, that equals $1,000,000. So your average American who's just a janitor should probably have at least $1,000,000 of a death benefit outside of the I already got life insurance because you have a mortgage protection policy. Well, that will pay off your house when you die. I already got a $500,000 life insurance policy and I have 3 kids and I make $100,000 a year. I had a young lady on my Facebook say that. I'm good. I have $500,000 of life insurance. My kids will be good. Miss, the math ain't mathin'. Debt slave, as savings minus debt would say. Slave to the rhythm, right? Like I said, even with the LLC, my principal of the company that I work with, CG Wealth Solutions, ADH Wealth Solutions is an affiliate of the CG Wealth Solutions Group. He loves to say that LLC. We don't need to know your tax filing status. That's all it is. Guess what? I'm self employed. I've been self employed for the past damn near 15 years. Guess what? I'm just like you LLCs. Guess what I file when I file my taxes? A Schedule C. Holy smokes, but I thought that was only for C Corps and LLCs. Well, no. A Schedule C is what you get when you get a 1099. See, people who are on unemployment who get a 1099-G, they're going to file a Schedule C. People who get a bunch of money from cash apps, they're going to get a 1099 miscellaneous. They're going to file a Schedule C. People like myself and people like friends of mine who are real estate agents and insurance agents and stockbrokers are a little different, but registered investment advisors are going to get a 1099. And guess what they're going to file on their taxes? A Schedule C. Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about tax strategies tonight. And I'll be talking about how you guys can save yourself some money on taxes. Because I also grow tired of my people getting demolished by around the corner taxes. Oh, come see me. I'm going to get you mad money back. You had one kid, we going to get you $50,000 back in your return. They're leaving you completely open to audit. And unfortunately, when they do that, they generally make you sign a document saying that you've self-prepared. And even if you haven't, because they're just a tax preparer, meaning that they hold their PTIN, preparer's tax identification number, which guess what? I have one too. I've been licensed by the federal government to file taxes for the past 8 years. I just don't do it. But see, I also realized that I wasn't going to go work for nobody ever again, except for myself. Now I work with people, which is why I'm working with the company I'm working with, the CG Wealth Solutions Group, because it's willing to affiliate with me. I have my own team, my own agents under me, a quote unquote downline, just like they would have in Primerica or Family First Life or People Helping People or World Financial Group. The difference is I ain't trying to have you go recruit a bunch of people. Number one, because I ain't trying to train 7 million people. And when you get training from me, you're going to get some in depth stuff. But also because love is a two-way street. The more you interact and are receptive with me, the more attention you get. The more far back and far off you are, the less attentive I am. So if you come to me and ask me about an IUL, but you weren't at any trainings, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, the IUL is the IUL. When's the last time you've been on a training with me? Or the last time you've been on a training with my principal? Now I get it, people have lives, but so do we. I'm glad you tapped in too, Four Corners. Make sure y'all tap in tonight for Friday Night Financials, where I'll be telling y'all some tips and tricks about this tax season. Because like I said, I'm tired of my people going and getting ripped off by H&R Block, Around the Corner Tax Services, uh, Liberty Tax, Jackson Hewitt, your local CPA, shit, your local EA. I have a young lady who's a friend of mine who's an enrolled agent. And at first, I introduced her to a buddy of mine who was a CPA. And I was like, oh, well, if you're a CPA, then, you're probably higher up than her. And unfortunately, that was my naivete. Because if you really want to know, the big dogs are the enrolled agents. Now, most CPAs are going to become enrolled agents, but a CPA is generally limited by the state of with which they've taken their exam in. It's kind of like an attorney who passes the bar, right? Like I work with an estate planning attorney, but she's only able to operate in the state of New York. So my clients in Georgia, my clients in, Missouri, my clients in the show me state, my clients in you know, all these other states that I'm licensed in. I'm licensed in so many states, I done forgot how many states I'm licensed in, or what. I done forgot what states I'm licensed in because I'm licensed in so many states, thanks to the internet. But the enrolled agent can represent you against the IRS. And she said something to me that was funny. She put on Facebook, I'm not obligated to give you any information unless you have already paid my fee. And she was saying that because she noticed I give tons of information for free. See, she also went and got her insurance license, but she saw that I punch up and I was like, listen, just because I have my P10, but I stay out of the tax lane. Y'all are accountants, stay out of the financial services lane. Well, the insurance portion of financial services. Now, just for shits and giggles, let me turn on my camera real quick. I don't know how to turn the camera around, so hold on. How do I turn the camera around? Settings, camera. Let's see something. Back facing camera. Okay. Just to show y'all, here's some of the books. Oh, here's my stuff from the Conference of African American Financial Professionals. And here's some of the books that I study in terms of securities, in terms of insurance. Hold on, because the thickest book I have, right? Right? These are all the securities books. These are all the thickest book I have. Say hi, Graham Cracker. The thickest book I have. I need to wash clothes. That's my king size blanket. So this is one of my securities books. This is the series 65. And this is the thickest book, which happens to be the life and health insurance book. Fucking ironic, right? So I'm just saying all that to say that you should also make sure that the person that you're tapping in with is studied in this stuff. I didn't even expect to go for an hour. Peace, JPM. What's going on? My spirit today is that of the warrior king. I feel energetic. I feel reinvigorated and revived. I feel better because I've released a lot of stuff that I was holding on to nonsensically. And I feel vindicated because something that was said in the past is don't worry if you've got 1,000,000 people following you. I'd rather just have 1,000 people following me because I know those 1,000 people are genuinely tapped in with me. They're not chasing off a clout, right? Then I also had to find out, oh, something funny. See, there's a content creator who released something showing about numbers. Thank you, JPM. Yeah, I am off to a fantastic year. Actually, folks, I need y'all help. Big time. 1 second. Let me see if I can show y'all this real quick. So I need y'all's help. This is one of my bars here. So I don't know if you guys can see this. So this is from 2021, right? Top annuity producer in 2021. So I just found out earlier this year that I am also the top annuity producer in my company for 2022. So I'll be having my second plaque. So in terms of needing you guys help, the help that I need is I need y'all to help me become a three-peat. Because once is a fluke, twice is luck, and 3 times in a row means that you have some skill at it. And now I got people in my company gunning for me. I got a guy in my company who's an attorney. And so he already has high net worth individuals as clients on the legality side. So he's already done $800,000 this year in annuities. Um, Almost a million. I this year have done zero in annuities, but this year just started. So I've got an 800,000. He's got an $800,000 head start. Now, I also, when I won the award last year, got spoken to by the higher ups in my investment or my broker dealer. What's a broker dealer? That's where investment firms go to. So I want you guys to go to Google and look up broker dealer. Okay. Usually it'll be like broker hyphen dealer like this, or you'll see it. How do I send that? Or you'll see it like this. Broker slash dealer. Okay. And mine is a company called AIC, Emeritus Investment Corporation. Right? That's my broker dealer. So those are the people who I send my investments to. And they came down from the company. We were having a nice dinner in upstate New York. And one of the VPs came to me, tapped me on the shoulder. Great job, Alonzo. We see potential in you. We like $1 million or more in production this year. Make that happen, and we'll make some nice things happen for you. And when they said that, I understood that that meant not $1 million for the year. That means they want me to push out $1 million every 3 months for them. $1 million a quarter. It's actually very doable. So I'm going to ask you all for help in doing so. See, a lot of y'all don't think y'all got money. And a lot of y'all are lying to yourselves. How do I know? And I'll give you an example. Thanksgiving, November 2015, I was sitting with my stepfather-in-law. And I was talking about retirement accounts. And he was like, yeah, I used to have a job with a Bank of New York. I left them in like 1994. No documents. I just off of the top of my head. Yeah, you're gonna get about 200 and I think I told him $238 a month from that retirement account. And then I said, well, let's do this. Let's call the company because they still have your money since they haven't rolled it out to you. And you need to get that money because that's your money. Lo and behold, it was there. So lo and behold, I know everyone listening to me has had a job in the past. You may have left that job under your circumstances, under your reasoning, or theirs. But it's likely if you were there a couple of years, you have a 401k, a profit sharing program, an ESOP, something with them. And you're entitled to that money. Even if it's as little as $10,000, let me help you and help me help you by rolling it over because you need access and control of that money. Contact me via the email address or the website scrolling below. With that being said, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Make sure you guys come back tonight for Friday night financials. I'll have the everything set up in a few hours. I've got some work to do. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you. Let's do a little seven cameos here. I want to shout out to the FBI. That's the feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. Shout out to the CIA. That's the confident, intelligent, and assertive. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge.